plug in your battery?
No.
You don't even have.
Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 11740 Southwest King George Drive here in King City. Located up on the rooftop, going through the vent. It's a 3-inch copper vent. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. We're going to keep this moving pretty quick here to get through the twists and the turns. We will reel back in slower. It's just transitioned there over to cast iron pipe, and it will likely transition to concrete here in just a moment. And we are in concrete. And this is a 4-inch concrete pipe. And we've got roots here at 40 feet. More roots here at 45 feet. The nice part here is that we still have good flow through the line, so you do have the option, at least thus far, to do a pipeliner for the repair. And right here looks like our main lateral connection, as far as best I can tell here. My camera's not going to go beyond this point, but this does appear to be the main connection at 51 feet. Then we're going to do our first locate right here. This is close enough to the main, I'll be able to figure out where it's going, but my first marking, or I guess the furthest out marking, will be this root intrusion. Alright, we're about 8 to 10 feet out from the rear right corner of the house if you're looking at the front of the home. About 5 feet, 6 inches deep. And we've got a separated joint and a minor root intrusion right there at that point. And here is our other, in fact, we might have another one that's starting to come through here at 41 feet. It hasn't quite penetrated, but it looks like we've got dirt that's starting to come through. And then here at 40 feet. None of these at this point are affecting functionality, as they're not sitting right in the flow line. These ones are getting close, but they're not quite there yet. I still recommend they be repaired, but these ones you do have a little bit of time on before they cause a problem. Alright, I'm getting a depth here at about 4 feet, 2 inches deep. So the depth that's further out there, the furthest out root intrusion, it doesn't seem like it's dropped that much harder to drop a foot deeper. Just use a little caution when digging there.
I am so excited about
The closest in root intrusion, though, is much easier to locate. The other one was right up next to a bush, which could have somewhat thrown off the locate. But those are both marked with white X's. We are starting to see some aggregate rock showing through here. I'm not seeing any major debris hanging up in it, but it is nearing. You might have another 10 years before a lot of aggregate really starts to show through, but that stuff is rough and can catch debris as it comes down the line. Now we've got a very minor belly right here. It's only barely a foot long, and it's about a ½ inch of standing water. Nothing terribly concerning there about that. Usually it takes at least 5 feet of pipe with at least an inch of water static, no water running at all, before you really start to get debris collecting. Now we're going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the line. Given the age of the pipe, I would say that, and given that it's still functioning, I'm leaning more towards a full update at some point rather than a spot repair, but the spot repairs at the very least I will recommend to deal with the current root intrusions. The only reason I say that is you're going to be spot repairing a line that is getting near the end of its lifespan, and you're really probably going to be way more cost effective to do a full line update rather than to spot repair that. So just keep that in mind when deciding whether to do the repair now or a little later. At this time, because the roots are not affecting the flow, the line is functioning. but is likely going to be hindered by those roots at some point, so I recommend they be fixed. The concrete itself is in fair to rough condition, but it is still functioning as well. The cast iron and copper are doing its job, still in good condition. Line overall is functioning. But I would seriously consider a full update versus a spot repair, just because, you know, if you had a bunch of new pipe that you were spot repairing, it wouldn't be a big deal, but the rest of the line after you spot repair that is nearing the end of its life too.